Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Madhava Kunja Vihari Kunja Gopi Janam Balabha Girivara Dhari Gopi Janam Balabha Girivara Dhari Jasodanandana Brajajanaranjana Jasodanandana Brajajanaranjana Jamanatira Vana Chari Jamana Tiravana Chadi Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabi Hadi Madhava Kunjabi Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Balabha Girivara Dhari Gopi Jana Balabha Girivara Dhari Girivara Dhari Jasodanandana Brajajanaranjana Jasodanandana Brajajanaranjana Jamuna Tiravana Chadi Jamuna Tiravana Chadi Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivijagacharya Astatarasatasi Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Gaura Premanandi. It's nice and warm in here. It's very cold out there. It's going to get colder tonight, and it's already 7 degrees. And it's going to get colder tonight. And he's going back to Texas. And it's going to be 6 inches of snow on Tuesday. Ooh. Maybe he'll just stay in freezing cold Chicago and like it or not, because they're going to shut down 6 inches of snow in Houston. They don't have snow removal in Houston. No. They're going to shut the airport down. Vaishnavas don't do that. So let's see what happens. Now, there are persons with us this evening that were not with us during the weekend. So the plan is we're going to do a little recap of the topic. Those of you that attended the weekend, you know what we're going to say before we're going to say it, but it's nice to hear things again and again. Prabhupada made this point many times. Hearing things again and again may be necessary for clear understanding, or let the subject matter go more deeply. The plan is, let's see if Krishna permits, but the plan is that every year around this nice warm time of the year, because it's a national holiday on Monday, Martin Luther King Day, Ki Jai, we'll be doing, as we did this past weekend, in future weekends, in Martin Luther King weekend, with the plan of discussing Vaishnava etiquette, because it's important that as we're becoming from the darkness of ignorance towards the light of Krishna, to have some understanding of what's the proper conduct, or Sad-ācāra. That's the topic for this evening, by the way. Sad-ācāra. Achar means behavior or conduct in relation to the Supreme, Sat. So proper conduct, Vaishnava conduct. That's our topic. And we're trying to become Vaishnavas. We have the process of bhakti that helps us move in that direction. And so how to manifest the qualities of good conduct, to know what they are, and then mold our lives in that way, targeting pleasing Krishna, because that's the bhakti principle. And I chose to speak about Vaishnava etiquette and the aspect of respect, as you heard the little announcement at the beginning. So this is a view, and some of you who are a little newer, you may not know who is Sanatana Goswami on the right, and most of you will know who is Lord Chaitanya on the left. Sanatana Goswami was one of his foremost students or disciples or followers, and extensively, for months, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu day and night instructed Sanatana Goswami in different topics, and this is one of them. This is on the Vaishnava etiquette topic. My dear Sanatana, Lord Chaitanya said, although you are the deliverer of the entire universe, and although even the demigods and great saints are purified by touching you, it is the character of a devotee to observe and protect the Vaishnava etiquette. Maintenance of Vaishnava etiquette is the ornament of a devotee. So here's a nice ornament, a flower garland. So ornaments are decoration. The essence is not the decoration. The essence is the essence. And the essence of devotion or devotee, essence of a devotee is devotion, means that Krishna should be pleased. That's the very simple definition. Anukalyena Krishna Anushilanam. Krishna should be pleased. Do those things that are favorable to Krishna being pleased, which means refrain from those things that are not very pleasing to Krishna. You do's and then avoid the don'ts for the purpose of pleasing Krishna. So the ornament is the behavior, the speech, and the conduct, ācāra. And it's the ornament of a devotee. So I'm going to do a little bit of review, just as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was speaking like this about Sanatana Goswami. We also spent some time discussing a person of ideal character, an ideal virtue. There's Yudhisthira, and again and again and again and again and again in the Mahabharata, his virtuous disposition showed itself again and again. So here's an example in this illustration. This is Yudhisthira, who's coming before the blind king Dhritarashtra, pictured on the right, and Domya, the priest, because Dhritarashtra is blind, he doesn't know who's come, so he's letting him know, Yudhisthira has come to see you, or to speak with you. And there's Yudhisthira, of course, the blind king can't see, but he's offering his respects anyways, because that's what you do when you come before an elder and a senior personality. Even that senior personality in Dhritarashtra's case was in full knowledge of his eldest son, Duryodhana's diabolical activities. He knew this one, that one, the other one, and he didn't stop it. Now, he could have said, I can't stop him. And sometimes he said like that. But it's Vedic culture, it's not Kali Yuga yet. And the son hears from the father. And he's the king, or wants to be the king. And if he can't be the king, he wants his son to be the king. And if they're both of bad character, what's the kingdom going to be like? A mess. So he has to put his foot down, but he doesn't. And Yudhisthira knew that. Knowing that what he knew, because he's part of the royal family also, and he knew everything. He's still offering his respect and honor, despite all that Dhritarashtra was aware of and was looking the other way. There's another nice example that we spoke about, and some of you may not know, but there's a very nice publication about both Ramayana and Mahabharata retold by a nice devotee, an ISKCON devotee from the UK named Krishna Dharma. It's a nice name to retell those two books, Krishna Dharma. And I consulted him because I was going to be conducting this seminar in Mahabharata. Could you share with me some of your most inspired sections of Mahabharata where respect is outstanding? And he was really busy, so he just sent back a cryptic note saying, I don't have time because I'm traveling and teaching, but here's a nice passage. You can follow the passage, and it explains how before the Kurukshetra battle, Yudhisthira went to his three gurus immediately, the morning of the battle, and went on foot without his armor, without his weapons, to ask permission to fight with them. And there's a nice document that we circulated. I'll just say it very briefly. And those of you that would like to receive that nice little document written by Krishna Dharma summarizing what I'm about to describe, who should they see? Should they see Premananda? You see her and she'll make sure you get a document, or you circulate it, or however you want to do it. But just summarize a little bit. It's the principle is offering of respect. So to Dhritarashtra, even though he was in a bad position, and just the flip side, those who were his gurus. I mean, one of them, the first of them, the chapter begins Bhagavad Gita has just concluded. It's still the morning hour. Bhagavad Gita has just concluded. Arjuna had dropped his weapons. Now he's holding his weapons and he's ready. And there's the dialogue goes, everyone was wondering, what's going on? And they concluded he must have seen his grandfather and his gurus on the other side and became weakened in heart. But Krishna then discussed with him, and now he's holding his bow up in the air, ready to go. And so, because it's wartime, the bugles, the conch shells, the drums, off to the battle. And before the battle began, Yudhisthira got down from his chariot, took off his armor, laid his weapons on the ground, and alone, he's the other king on the other side, he walked alone. Kings don't walk alone. He walked alone and headed straight for the chariot of grandfather Bhishma. The Pandavas, his 4 brothers, were wondering, what's going on? Krishna moved the chariot and let them know. Here's what they let them know. I know what he's doing. He's offering his respect to his gurus because, it's a Vedic principle, one who first offers his respects to his elders and teachers before engaging with them in battle gains victory. That's not too often you engage with elders and teachers in battle, but if that occasion is there, respect goes to them. So Krishna, they were okay. That's what Yudhisthira is doing. He went, as he approached Bhishma's chariot, Bhishma got down from his chariot, set aside his weapons and came to greet him. And when he came forward, being respectful to grandfather, he was their father in the absence of his father, because Pandu died when they were still teenagers. And Bhishma took over as the father. He raised them and trained them in everything. He was their father, grandfather Bhishma. He touched his feet, folded his palms, and he said, I've come before you to ask for your blessings that we may be engaged in battle with our enemies. He didn't say with you, but he's on that side. And then there's a nice dialogue. I'll make it short because of time. But Grandfather Bhishma said several things. It's good that you've done this, because if you hadn't done this, surely you would have been defeated. I would have seen to it that you were defeated. But because you've done this, I am now wishing well that you succeed in your battle against the enemies. I'm on this side, in his own words from Mahabharata, because I'm a slave to the wealth of the Kauravas. There's many other reasons why he was doing what he was doing, but he was speaking in that way with humility. And you pleased me very much by this gesture of Vaisnava etiquette. Why don't you please take some benediction with me? Anything you want, blank slate, anything at all that you want. He asked for 2 things. First, he asked, again, please give your blessings that you fight with all of your vigor, and we will engage in battle, and with your blessings, we'll do all this. The second came after some dialogue. Please let me know, if you feel it's appropriate, how you can be defeated. Bhishma said later. Ask me later. I can't be defeated. Ask me later. And so on the 10th day, the 9th evening, Krishna reminded Yudhisthira, go ask Bhishma how he can be defeated, and he told them how he can be defeated. And that's how he was defeated on the 10th day. And then the next one. I'm not going to go through the details. You can read the document, but very much the same dialogue, very much the same response. It's good that you've done this, because if you hadn't done this, surely you would have been defeated. I would have seen to it that you were defeated. Dronacharya, Kripacharya, similar. Dronacharya said, when he, in what way can you be defeated? I can't be defeated. I'm invincible. There's only one thing, there's only one way I can be defeated. And that is from a reliable source, who it's going to be Yudhishthira himself as the reliable source. Be the bearer of bad news, and I'll lay down my weapons. Ashwatthama is dead. He who never told a lie is instructed by Krishna to tell a lie. Sounds like adharma, doesn't it? How do you understand that one? So that's another top conversation. And then Kripacharya, another of his gurus, and similar dialogue. So, in principle, we find in Mahabharata examples of respect, even in extreme circumstances, on favorable and unfavorable personalities. We discussed a little bit about respect in Ramayana, the etiquette of respect in Ramayana. And how do you respect those who do ill to you deliberately, knowingly? Not like, I misunderstood your words or your intentions. This is Kaikeyi giving her special necklace to Mantra. And Mantra's got a scowling face and, don't let this coronation of Ram proceed the very morning it was supposed to happen. So then, under Kaikeyi's words, reminded by Mantra, that Dasarath gave promises, you know the story, the Ramayana story, 2 boons. Ram will not become king, my son Bharata will become king, and Ram will go to the forest for 14 years. And there's some reason behind the 14, why the number 14. And so Ram is banished to the forest for 14 years, and Ayodhya is upside down. Ram is very, very calm. He went and told his mother, he went and told Sita, she said, I'm going with you, and told Lakshman, I'm going with you, and so off they went. And on the 13th year, Ram, for the entire time, he had no resentment, he had no ill feeling, he spoke not an unkind word about this misfortune arranged by Kaikeyi. And there's Lakshman bringing forest fruits and so forth, edibles for Ram and Sita. And on the 13th year, we heard this yesterday, Ram and Lakshman were having a discussion about Bharata, and how Bharata must be feeling very much separation, suffering, separation from Ram. I'm with you. In this misfortune, I'm with you, and I'm satisfied being with you. Bharata is not with you. He's back in Ayodhya feeling separation from you. And then thinking about and speaking about Bharata, he started to say some unkind words about that so-and-so Kaikeyi, that rascal, that, whatever the language was. And Ram stopped him. Don't speak about Kaikeyi, speak only about Bharata. Because he didn't want to hear negative words about the person who banished him for 14 years. It wasn't his father, it was her. And he knew it was her. But no resentment, respect, even in dire circumstances like this. It's a nice example. When Bharata, who was not in Ayodhya when all of this misfortune happened, returned to Ayodhya, and he was looking for Ram, just his dear beloved elder brother Ramachandra, and he couldn't find him. And so he went to the father's palace, and he saw his mother. And Mother Kaikeyi said, "Oh, good news, guess what? You're going to become king." What? And she laid out her whole little plan. She expecting he'd be clinking his heels and really happy, jumping up and down and saying Hari Bol many times. Just the opposite. What? You did what? He was really angry at his mother. And he took a vow, I'm going to bring Ram back. He's the king, not me. I can't be the king. He's the qualified one. So he set off in the direction of the forest, because that's a big forest outside of Ayodhya, and looking for the needle in the haystack. And as he was traveling, he came across Bharadraj Muni. And Bharadraj Muni received him as a sadhu will receive a kshatriya. He embraced him, greeted him warmly. "Bharata, what brings you here? I hope you've not come with some evil intent for your brother, that you like to harm him or do him ill." And Bharata clasped his head, saying, "Oh, what infamy has come with me because of my mother. I have no such idea like this. This is my plan. I've taken a vow. I'm going to bring him back. Please don't think these things. Please don't say these things." Bharadraj Muni said, "I knew all along. I was just examining your heart, and you verified everything that I understood. Farewell. May you be successful in bringing Ramchandra back." So, when there's challenging circumstances, it's not easy, depends on the circumstances, and it's not easy to remain filled with Vaisnava etiquette and respectful towards your higher purposes of life, and all those things that you value, and circumstances can push that off the map and out of the mind and do other things. But persons of high character, like the four brothers, Ram, Lakshman, Bharata, and Shatrughna, they never did like that. And so when he went to Ram said, "No, our father has said that you should become the king, and I'm going to the forest for 14 years. So I can't go against what Father said. We have to be obedient to Father. That's respect. Father said, that's it." So Bharata was checkmated. What to do? Then he had a plan. He brought along with him a pair of sandals or wooden shoes, just in case Ram said no. "Please put your feet on these sandals or in these sandals. I'll place them on the throne. I'll worship them. You will rule the kingdom for 14 years till you come back. And I'll be living an ascetic's life like you, matted hair and fruits and roots, and I'll live my life like your life living for 14 years. So here's a nice little illustration. So that's what he did. He lived in this little cottage and he worshipped the shoes of Ramachandra. Fortunately, Ramachandra came back the very night of the 14th year on the Pushpak of Vimana, and Bharata didn't have to enter fire. And he lived his life that way, just worshipping Ram in the presence of the shulas of Ram, and then Ram returned and became the king for a number of years. So this is a little sampler of some of the topics that we discussed, at least that I discussed. And now I'm going to turn the microphone over to Radha Krishna Prabhu. I've known Radha Krishna Prabhu for many, many years. And, you know, I won't ask him how old he is, but he's up there in years. And he's lived his life as a brahmachari. And he was trained by Tamal Krishna Maharaj, and if you don't know what that means, ask him. Tamal Krishna Maharaj was very strict. He's very strict. And Radha Krishna took it, and, it survived. And he's still around, serving in a very gentle way, very, very knowledgeable in scriptures, very affable, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy, as we were enjoying this weekend, his presence. So he's going to share something with you. You want to take the microphone stand? Some ideas on this topic of Vaisnava etiquette. You want to take it?
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Thank you, Maharaj, for being so kind to me. I've known Maharaj just as long as he has known me. So I touched on the topic on Vaisnava etiquette, patience, tolerance, and forbearance, and I'm just going to read something I wrote down from what I was speaking the last few days. And there's a particular verse from the 3rd canto. Most of you know this. You know this. Titikshava karunika surida sarvadehinam ajata satrava santa sadhava sadhu bhushanaha. The symptoms of a sadhu are that he is tolerant, merciful, friendly to all living entities, he has no enemies, he is peaceful, he abides by the scriptures, and all his characters are sublime. Srila Prabhupada says this is sadhu. Sadhu means Sad-ācāra. Sad-ācāra means his character is firmly fixed in that spot as a devotee. Prabhupada mentions that very nicely in his purports. It also means, he says, having clean habits. Clean habits means following the 4 regulated principles very nicely. And you all know that, right? No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling, including stock market. No, I'm joking. You know what I mean, yeah. So,
Well, Krishna.
So, Srila Prabhupada said, if our activities are conducted properly according to Shastra, then we can say we are very successful. So, Sadachara comes from the scriptures. The scripture tells us how to behave. And through that behavior, Prabhupada says, because we follow Shastra and we behave nicely, we automatically please the Supreme Lord. Not only the Supreme Lord, we please all the devotees who we interact with. As you saw, Maharaj was speaking about respect, and you saw how the different wonderful devotees interacted with their peers or with their elders and so on. You saw, because they were all following Sadachara. Yeah. And because in the case of Yudhishthira, he followed Sadachara, he was given the blessing that he would become victorious. in the battle. So similarly, when we follow the Sadachara, the instructions of the Shastra, we will also be victorious in getting to the lotus feet of Shri Radha and Krishna. And if you can't do that, you can rush out here and hold His Holiness Romapada Swami's lotus feet. So nowadays, if you look at the present society and the way it's governed, things have fallen from good habits. The common people don't understand what is good things to do. In the old days, you saw how even Krishna wanted proper governance. That's why he wanted to get rid of the Kauravas. And what to speak of nowadays, right? If Krishna were to come here, then he has to get rid of everyone. And so it's not so easy for us as practicing Vaishnavas. We want to we want to set good examples. When people walk in through those doors, when they look at us, the way we interact with them, the way we welcome them, the way we introduce them to Krishna, they should feel within their hearts, they should feel euphoric tendencies of love coming out from us. And Sadachara is what leads us to that platform. Otherwise, we will fall prey to our senses. Meaning, if we look at someone, we'll think, oh, they don't look good, so I'm not going to help them. They don't have money, so I don't want to have association with them. But Sadachara is beyond all those things. Sadachara is what Krishna wants us to perform or accept in our life. Unless, Prabhupada says, unless you follow the four regulated principles, you cannot become free. Sadachara frees us from sinful activities. So it's very important. Without Sadachara, one becomes sinful. Meaning he'll say, it's okay. Right? Nowadays it's so common to normalize sinful life as normal. It's okay. Everything, you're okay, I'm okay. So therefore, when we interact with people, sometimes we also feel very let down because of the nature of those personalities we deal with. So one time, Srila Prabhupada's disciple, Kausalya, was a very senior devotee. She had some interactions with outsiders as well as devotees, and she felt very hurt by the words they used, and so she went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I can't deal with this, people are always criticizing me, and so therefore I want to go to this place called Bir Nagar. It's a ladies' ashram, and it's at Bhaktivinoda Thakur's place. She said, I want to shave my head and I want to go to the ladies' ashram and spend my time simply chanting. So Srila Prabhupada looked at her and said, why are you complaining? Look at what I have to tolerate. So Prabhupada said, Kausalya, you're looking for a calm sea, but you will not find it in this material world. Only when you are in Goloka with Krishna and Radharani will you find it there. And then Prabhupada looked at her and said, but you have a very nice captain here for your boat, so what is the difficulty? That's so nice, no? Srila Prabhupada. That's a sadhu. So Kausalya was saying, so every time there's some upheavals in her life, things go bad, she always thinks about what Prabhupada told her, that my captain is there. My captain will steer me to my destination. She was saying like this, and therefore there's no difficulty, she said. Then finally Prabhupada told her, you just stay here by me and everything will be all right. Life throws curves, and we should all remember Srila Prabhupada. and his teachings, which is Sadachara. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Premananda, you want to do your MC thing?
We have a few minutes if you would like to take examples of practice.
Okay. I'm accustomed to having a cutoff. Serious.
You want me to?
No, well, I'll do what you want me to do, but I'm just being respectful of what I normally experience. You can take one question. Any comments or questions? And address them to either myself or to Radha Krishna Prabhu. See, there's no question. No. You have a question. Go ahead.
This question, either one of you can answer. In this world, we find so many different natures that people have. And how does, this question came in one of our discussions, how does individual nature and, our natures as maybe warriors or householders or in different ways, how does that fit into Sadachara or Vaisnava etiquette? Because
how did it fit in?
Yeah, how does nature play into etiquette? Because due to one's nature, one may be just a very loud person, a very strong person, and another person may be very weak, meek and by nature. So is everyone supposed to be meek and humble in spite of the fact they're like a warrior?
When I hear this diversity question, my mind goes to Prabhupada. And like this little example of Prabhupada to speaking to his female disciple, think what I have to go through. So, the specific reference is an Irish professor named Professor O'Grady, it's a nice Irish name, O'Grady, was meeting with Prabhupada saying, Swamiji, in your organization, there's so many different persons, there must be some dissension amongst those so many different personality types, which isn't exactly what your question is, but it's in the direction. And Prabhupada gestured to the vase on the table. He had this way of making things complicated, really simple. And the vase on the table, there's many flowers, different colors, different fragrances, and it's beautiful. The diversity is beautiful. So each of us, according to our nature, we act according to our nature, provided there's harmony, provided there's the common center. So how does it play in? Act according to our nature. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, each of us, we have our prescribed duties, and we should perform our prescribed duties, whatever that is, according to your nature. And then put Krishna at the center. No, the art is putting Krishna at the center, knowing what the center and how to, but that's a big topic of how to. But the principle behind the how to is Krishna's at the center, and you have your nature, and you respect that others have their nature, which is going to be somewhat different than your nature. So respect differences with Krishna at the center. And then something that really helps is you're guided by scripture and guru and sadhu. So those are the guiding lights or guiding forces in the how-to. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, aligned with those principles, giving the how-tos to keep Krishna at the center, in the midst of acting according to my nature and respecting another person's nature. It's a big topic. You want to add something? We have a second question. Look at this.
So kind of follow up on that. So where does, like say somebody is being very rude to you, right? Being very disrespectful. So then where does, so how should one, I guess, respond, you know, but being respectful, but also being respectful to your self-esteem, right?
We discussed this.
Yes.
We discussed
I
it.
missed it.
But you can give the answer, not me.
You
You gave the answer. Go ahead. You get the microphone.
go, Maharaja. You missed the classes. And
Recording, because you get all the answers
Yeah.
in detail. But he's going to give a summary.
come again. Can you repeat the questions?
Yeah, the question is, somebody's really mean,
Yes.
and how do you respond with respect and with courtesy without abandoning self-dignity or self-respect? How do you handle that situation according to Vaisnava etiquette?
You show them love. It's love. All you need is love. Yeah. you deal with them with kindness back. Right? There's many ways you can do that. You can serve them, and by your very activities, because your intention is not to retaliate. That's the whole idea, is not to retaliate. We discussed this also. We don't want to take revenge. That contaminates the heart, and it makes it hard. And then you don't become, where your heart cannot become a place for Shri Radha and Krishna to come into. Therefore, you show them what they would like to be treated nicely, and then they will feel that you are a true devotee who is showing them so much love that they will feel bad. Right? Sometimes you hear the acharyas, they sing, and they'll say they are so fallen, because they come to the realization that when in comparison to Krishna, whatever they have is nothing. So similarly, when you shower people with so much love and affection, they will realize that they are not actually doing the right thing. And you can go back after doing that, you can come to the Lord and say, "My Lord, this is what I have done. You give me the strength also to go through and understand that this thing doesn't affect my heart, so that I can continue to help and serve others as well."
The not abandoning yourself is what he just said.
Yes.
Be fixed in yourself, not in the false ego self. The false ego self is, cat and dog fight. Or you don't have to fight, but just like feel some of those feelings. So not abandoning yourself is who you really are. And then, like very nicely just described, and then you go to Krishna, and you give Krishna the report. On your behalf, this is how I acted, with the intention that you would be pleased. I'm hoping that you're pleased. Now, however they respond, that's their choice. And mean people, sometimes they're just mean and they're not going to become soft because you were nice. But that's their responsibility with Krishna, not yours. Keep the Krishna connection vibrant. That's what you do.
Hello. I just want to take a moment to express my deep gratitude to His Holiness Romapada Swami Maharaj, His Grace Radha Krishna Das Prabhu, His Grace Gopal Hari Prabhu, for their most valuable presentation based on many scriptural references and practical application in our life. In fact, just now when Maharaj mentioned recordings are available, I was also thinking of speaking this today, that I'm aware that majority of you missed out on this very rare opportunity. It has taken more than 3 years of discussion to bring this seminar to this temple, and a fraction of the community alone had the opportunity, or whatever reason, attend in person. So I'm just making this announcement that these recordings are available. You can contact Amrita Keli Devidasi, and we are going to continuously make stand up, then they can see you. So she has all the recordings, and our intention is to make these recordings available to anyone and everyone. Maharaj will be conducting these seminars in the coming next 2 years on related topics, and all of those recordings are going to stay in this temple permanently forever. So I request you to repeatedly hear it, and I'm sure the community will be benefited. There is no question about it. So once again, thank you, Guru Maharaj and Radha Krishna Prabhu and Gopal Hari Prabhu for the amazing, wonderful presentation. It was very rare opportunity to hear on this topic. So I will make the announcements on sponsorships. Today's Mahabhoga sponsors are Ajay Gopalkar, Dr. Ajay Gopalkar, celebrating his marriage anniversary and seeking Krishna's blessings. This is a whole day sponsorship. I was present here. He and his family came and did the Rajbhog Aarti from the temple room and received the prasadam. And we were very grateful to Dr. Ajay for sponsoring. And you also can do the same. If you need to, you can contact Shyam Prabhu or Abhay Prabhu or Ramdas Prabhu for that. I don't think Dr. Gopalkar is here. They have come and gone already. Yeah. So, what is it? Sunday feast sponsors. First family is Jitendra Paul. Paul family is seeking blessings from the Vaishnavas. Anybody here from the family? If so, please come and receive prasadam from Maharaj. They're not here. Okay. Sangeeta and Prabhash Dubey celebrating Saurav's birthday. Sangeeta and Prabhash, anybody here? Okay. While they are going, we can announce other. You can give to Maharaj, to give. Lavanya and Dhananjay Kundapalli celebrating the birthday of Indira, seeking the blessings of devotees. Wishing you a very happy Krishna conscious birthday, Indira. Yes. Mahendra and Yashomadi Patel seeking blessings from the devotees. Please come, Mataji. You can give it to Maharaj. Go give it to him. Yeah. Yashomadi Patel. Yeah. Here is Sangeeta Dubey is here. Maharaj, Sangeeta Dubey is here. There is an anonymous person seeking blessings for New Year. And finally, Gadadhar Chandra Das and family in loving memory of their great-grandmother, Chennaru Kammalamma Garu, and seeking prayers for the departed soul who just passed away on the glorious day of Vaikunta Ekadashi. I think Prabhu is in India, right? So, for the sake of all this family, you are here. Thank you. Please come. So, on behalf of all these families, let us pray to their lordships. Kindly chant after me the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this week, we are rotating announcements. This week is appreciating the volunteers. I did not receive the list of devotees who cooked Sunday feast today. Lakshmi Kanda Prabhu and his team, we deeply appreciate them. Plus, please give them a big hand. And also, all the volunteers, even though we created this system of weekly appreciation, yearly appreciation, and all that, I just wanted to express my deep, heartfelt gratitude to all the volunteers, because you are the ones who are serving in the temple, and we value you so much. Thank you again, and prasadam is served downstairs. Hare Krishna.